Well, hey, good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Blue Gamer Bluecast Morning Show. I'm your host, Adam Blue, 30 plus year video game enthusiast and industry analyst. And yeah, I didn't have a show yesterday, I guess, with having the day off from work, waking up, a little later than usual, kind of straggling around. I was just like, yeah, I just want to do a show. I didn't even do a Gundam Explained show, which I think it just had to do with it just kind of a fun, relaxing day, and I kind of didn't want to set things up. It always depends on the holidays if I do shows or not. But anyway, I'm glad to be back and talk some games. There's so much stuff I want to talk about, so we're going to get into that here shortly. Right before the show started, I was trying to get signed into my PlayStation account on the web, and man, for some reason that's so hard to do. It was like asking me to use a passkey that I set up, and then the one on my phone wasn't working, even though it's worked before. So then it tried another way, and that's where you scan a QR code, and then you use the passkey on the phone. There's a lot to it. There's a reason I want to show that, because I was just looking at Game Pass and amazed at the games you could be playing right now if you have Game Pass. It's actually pretty amazing. So to start, let's start with what I've been playing. This is going to be pretty interesting. So, well, not that, but that I have been playing. So here's Exophase. First of all, wow, only 19 minutes of Shadow X, or Sonic X Shadow. Yeah, I decided to get it. I had complained before about the little changes they made, which were not a big deal, but at the same time, that kind of bothers me that they made those changes. Anyway, with this, 19 minutes seems low because I played through 4 stages already. Yeah, 4 stages. And the shadow levels so far are actually pretty fun. There's like a lot to do in it. And as I'm passing things, because you're going so fast, I'm like, oh, I could have done that. I can go back and do that later. And then it's like the later level I was playing, it's like, okay, now I know what to look for. So yeah, by the time I played like the 3rd and 4th level, I'm like getting all of not all of them, but there's like these little secrets you could get. And there's actually a lot of little secrets in all the stages, which makes you replay, learn the routes and all that. And, it is fun, but it doesn't scratch my itch of, playing like a Castlevania or Star Wars Outlaws. It's a very, and I don't know if that is actually what happened too with like Astrobot and Mario. It's like these games that are more like platformer types, where you just have to get to the end. Like, unless there's something really new and interesting for me, I feel like I've done it all. So even with this Sonic X Shadow, it's like, oh, the shadow levels are good, but this is how the levels should have been since, Sonic Adventure 2 and Generations also had the good levels, but also the in Sonic Unleashed, the non-werewolf, even though the werewolf, that's funny, Sonic Unleashed really is a pretty good game. But then seeing the side-scrolling levels in the Sonic X Shadow Generations, it's like way better than Sonic Superstars. It's like, I don't know if they have multiple teams that are working on these Sonic games, and because Sonic Superstars was something I was really looking forward to. It was going neck and neck with Mario Wonder last year, and it just did not do anything. But yeah, playing Sonic X Shadow, I'm enjoying it. Call of Duty, jumped into that with my youngest a little bit yesterday, and we need to do that more. Actually, we're playing Nuketown, because Nuketown's back. They're going to do some Christmas stuff soon, but it was fun just playing it. It was funny playing Modern Warfare 3 as long as I did, and then just a little bit of Black Ops 6, and then jumping back into Black Ops 6. I do like the controls. It feels a lot more fluid and intuitive as you're moving around. Star Wars Dark Forces Remaster. Wow, only 13 minutes. Sometimes it's amazing, like, getting what I get out of short bursts of gameplay. But not too long ago, I was playing the Dark Forces re-release on Steam, and I was like, I remember this game. It's kind of fun. But I've been waiting for the remaster. It came out in February. I just didn't get around to it. It was on sale. Black Friday deals. Really cheap. And listening to the music as I was playing, and it's probably a nostalgia thing since I was there at the time, it's like I wish the music used in Dark Forces Remaster would play in Outlaws, like when I'm in the Imperial bases. Which reminds me, and this is another little point real quick, Star Wars Outlaws music is some of the best music this year, next to Outcast, Outlaws Outcast. You know, the other game I'm playing, Outcast New Beginning. That music is fantastic, but the Outlaws music, it's interesting how much it sounds like Star Wars, but it's not Star Wars. It's Star Wars music. They're not using any of the original Star Wars themes, but they're using all the motifs and everything throughout. So it sounds fantastic. But anyway, kind of going back to that though, even though I love the Star Wars Outlaws music, it doesn't sound nostalgia. I have nostalgia for Star Wars. So it's like, and I'm sure there's a way to do this where I can get the music from Dark Forces and put that into Outlaws, because I think I'd have more of that feeling. Oh man, yeah, just all through the 90s when I was playing these Star Wars PC games and console games because of the Super Star Wars and Super Empire Strikes Back, Super Return of the Jedi. Always, it's reminded me always through the holidays playing those, just like today. So it's cool to think, yeah, the fun I had playing games on Thanksgiving, even though I didn't play as much as I could have. I watched, what was it? I finished Godzilla vs. Space Godzilla, which these movies are not amazing, but they're fun. I guess that's a good way to put it. It's like there's so many flaws in these movies, from plot to acting to this, that, but they're just so fun to watch. Anyway, that's kind of a side point. But yeah, the Outlaws didn't update to me playing it yesterday. I think that's the thing with the Zuby Connect, where it just randomly... Exophase does the best they can, because even someone posted... okay, last time I played Godzilla was the 26th, 27th, is that right? Okay, maybe. But someone posted, hey, how can I get PS3 trophies in Exophase? And then the guy responded, okay, I made a thing. Here's where you can upload the trophy files from the emulator. Yeah, and that's what I mean specifically, the emulator, not like the PSN account. Because what's interesting is you can get all these retro systems because they're retro achievements, but retro achievements doesn't have PS3 trophies. But there is a way to get the trophy data from an emulator. Anyway, lots of cool stuff going on there. I think my plan is, this little thing I've been doing with my games lately where I'm playing here and there. Play another level of Shadow, go to Outcast, take out some... in Outcast, how it works, it's like there's a puzzle you could solve, and there's a place you could take over of bad guys in the open world. So I'll do like one quest and then do a couple of those. And then maybe Dark Forces Remaster. That was more of just for fun. It was really cheap. And then maybe a round or two of Call of Duty. That'll probably be my weekend game playing. Although I wanted to get back to the Ninja Turtles Splintered Fate, and there's so much that I could be playing. But that's how it is. Okay, let me close this. What did I want to show next? Is something related to emulation. Check this out. This is called Shad PS4. This is a PS4 emulator, and it it works, but not for most games. Let me put it that way. There's a list of about 50 games on PlayStation 4 that will emulate. Unfortunately, the PS4 Godzilla doesn't work, even though I have it set up and ready to go whenever it does work. Not only do I have the game, but I have the patch and the DLC. So now it's just a matter of when they get it to work. And I posted in the Reddit under a thread for the Godzilla PS4, I said, what can be done to help this? Like, I wonder if there's something I can do to help. Does that require me going into the GitHub and then downloading code? And see, that I wouldn't be able to help with, but maybe I could research and kind of figure out and then find people to be like, because in my opinion, there's, out of the 50 games that they have emulated for PS4, maybe a couple of them, no, none of them are PS4 only, I don't think, because even Bloodborne, you can play on a PS5. The PS5 is backwards compatible. You don't need this. The only reason I need a PS4 emulator to work is so I could play this Godzilla PS4 game that you can't play on PS5. That, I guess if you had the disc, but the disc is $200-something. That it's just, I can't see myself spending that much for a disc. I think the cheapest I've seen is $200, and then because I'm paying $200 for a disc, the thing is, it is a physical thing that could get destroyed or stop working or scratched. And so it's like, oh, well, I should just get a backup. And that's kind of what I have here. And I mean, I played this game, so I gave them my money, but I just don't have it anymore. And this is the only way. So anyway, I just cannot wait for when they get, yeah, right now, I guess the big thing is Bloodborne. And even if you own Bloodborne, like, I guess that's the idea. You own Bloodborne, but you're wanting to do it on PC so you can do 60 FPS. That's kind of the thing that people are trying to do. Like when I was doing the Switch games on an emulator, it's like, I want to get that 60 FPS, you know. Anyway, I hope they get around to figuring that out. Because, yeah, I think this is cool. This is game preservation. Right now, no one can play Godzilla PS4 unless they buy it used, the secondhand market, for $200. Otherwise, you can't play it. All right, let's move into some news. I don't know what to expect from here. Okay. P472MD. I saw that. I'm like, what does that mean? But in the background, I see pixel art. And I know Jellico, so I'm wondering what this is. City Connection will host the P472MD Information Reveal special live stream on YouTube. It's an unreleased Mega Drive version of the side-scrolling shoot-'em-up game P47 Phantom Fighter. Okay, that's awesome. I knew there was something with the shmup going on here. That's not too much information. Oh yeah, live in 43 hours. Huh. I mean, it might not be too big of a deal, but it's cool to get another little shmup going on. All right, let's see. Which PS5 exclusives might arrive in 2025? Well, let's see. So Ghosts of Yotei, we're seeing right there. Right here, we're seeing Death Stranding 2. That, I don't know. We'll see what it says down here. Yeah, Ghost of Yotei, Death Stranding 2, which I feel like I should play the first one. I did, actually. I started it, but it was like so much non-gaming going on that I just moved on. Horizon Online. Interesting to see what that is. And then Lost Soul Aside. Oop, that was loud. Okay, could be, yeah, I mean, it has soul in the title. But it looks like it's a little faster paced than a Souls game, so it'll be interesting to see. I mean, and I still, considering action games, I still haven't played Stellar Blade. I'm kind of waiting for the PC release. It's one of those things where, yeah, that's going to be on PC. Same with the Rise of Ronin. I want to play that, but I'm pretty sure it's going to be coming out on PC, and I would just rather build my collection on PC. Yeah, there you go. And there's so many other games to play. I can afford to wait. And that's really about it, I guess. Who knows with and I think there's some news about this, the PlayStation event that could be coming up on December 3rd, I think, potentially. Might have some reveals. One could be possibility that Bloodborne gets a remaster. I know there's server maintenance happening to Bloodborne on the same day as the PlayStation showcase or whatever the event's going to be, so that points to something. All right, 8-Bit Do, like Nintendo, is releasing an official Xbox version of its retro keyboard. So their retro keyboard's really cool. They even have one that looks like the old school IBM computers like I had growing up, and I really wanted to get it. They have two variants, though. They have like the standard layout, and then they have the one that has the yeah, there we go, the extra keys with the numpad. There you go. And so I got to say, this keyboard looks sick. The colors look sick. This is like something I would love to have. And I do like it has these two big buttons. That's neat. I mean, you could use that for so many things, like a mute. That is a good idea, a mute button. Because I do have muting my different audio tracks, like Discord, a game, browser. But I don't have mic, because my mic's on a separate thing. Anyway, I almost bought one of these. There's another picture of it. I almost bought one of these, but I wanted to get it with the, because later they're going to come out with a version with the numpad part of it. So yeah, they have this Amazon link, right? It comes out January 16th for $120. If we go to their store and go to, let's see, do they have a keyboard? Okay, here we go. So here we can see some of their different keyboards. Well, there's not much here. And you see how much cheaper they are? Like, they seem to go down in price. Okay, so let me... And it's funny because I have a keyboard right now that is really good, and it was only $20. I did so much research. It's this brand called Arctech. I don't know, but all the research I did, it led to this, and I love it. This is actually the second version I have. The first one I had was just Bluetooth, and I bought one that was 2.4 gigahertz, so it's a little faster. So anyway, you can see here where they have these numpads separately, but I thought, oh, here we go. And that, yeah, so here is the one that has the numpad on it. So once that happens with the Xbox One, I would probably get it. And that's 120, and that comes with the numpad on it. So eventually that's going to be the price. I've noticed that's what happens. These keyboards come out, they're a certain price, then they sort of drop over time. Okay, here is the one. Let me open this. Interesting. It showed Amazon, and then when I click on it, it's showing AliExpress. I don't know if that matters or not. Anyway. Okay. Oh, but that doesn't have... Okay. I just want to see real quick if on Amazon, because I know, yeah, well, maybe not. I thought I saw it, and maybe this version doesn't have it yet, but this is the one that looks like sort of the IBM computer, even with the B and the A there. The colors, the blue, looking like IBM. Wait, let me go back to that. Okay, no, that didn't have... Okay, this one. Oh, let me go to their actual store. So here we go. 120. Okay, so maybe the only version they have is for keyboard. Oh, and keycaps. Interesting. But no, it's all products. Man, they have a lot of cool stuff. And I do have a Bluetooth controller of theirs. It's just when it comes to controllers, you can spend a little more and kind of get better controllers. But I guess it depends what you're looking for. I'm not. Give me a sec, because I wanted to see where... I'll just click on this. And then they have ones that are different color schemes, but I was trying to find if they had the IBM version, but if they do an Xbox version of this, I'll get it. But also, this is a chonky keyboard. You can see mine is... Can I look how thin that is? Can I adjust it? It's like super thin. You can almost not see it, depending on... It's just easier for me to work with that. It's smaller and easy. It's light. I could kind of be a little more dynamic when I'm like moving around here and then like kind of shifting. And you can't see, but I'm kind of moving the keyboard here. Anyway, what a boring conversation I just had with everybody. Let's move on. Players are accusing Tencent's latest game of copying Sony's Horizon series, and it's funny how they word that. Players are accusing. Or you could just say, hey, it looks like Tencent's coming out with a game that looks like it. It's almost like this guy's not trying to say, I don't know. Worded weird, but yeah, if you look at the screenshots, yeah, left is Horizon, right is this new game that looks exactly like it. So let's see. But I mean, there's nothing... I gotta say, there's nothing wrong with making something look like something else. If something looks cool and you want to make something that looks like it, because it's all about the gameplay. At the end of the day, if the game's not as good as Horizon, no one's going to care. If it's better than Horizon, well, maybe that's what people want then. So, okay, Light of Mataram is developed by Polaris Quest, a subsidiary of Tencent. The game is described as an open-world adventure set in a land where human civilization has ceased to exist. The world is inhabited by mechanical animals known as Mechanimals. I like that, including large gorilla, deer, and bull, facing primal civilizations, unpredictable weather, and lurking Mechanimals. I gotta get that down. You must blah 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 blah. Oh, it has co-op. Craft shelters. So it's almost like what people saw, and I kind of agree with this. When I first played Horizon, the visuals didn't match the immersion in the gameplay that I got out of it. And again, at that time, Breath of the Wild had just come out. And then when the second one came out, Elden Ring had just came out. So as these Horizon games that looked amazing were coming out, mechanically, better games or more immersive games of that type were coming out. And that could be what this call is here. The reason this game exists is because people saw the potential with Horizon and it just didn't work. That's why we get something like Lego Horizon. It's like, well, why do we need a Lego Horizon? Well, let's try to get people to play Horizon. Introduce it to another group of people through Lego. Anyway, I think that's crazy. All right, moving on. This looked cool. Victory Heat Rally for Switch launches December 12th, and it's currently available for PC, iOS, and Android. Oh, I didn't know that. So let's look at this. Because when I see the screen there, it just reminds me again of, nostalgia, but a lot of those games can be fun. Okay, it's on Steam right now. Came out in October. Oh, split screen. And it has sort of a Mario Kart feel to it. Let's see. Let's look at this launch trailer. Okay, so it has like an open world. And then, yeah, and the reason I say it has a Mario Kart look to it is because of, like, the sprite-based look. It's almost like Mode 7 graphics, but then, like, you could see, like, the drifting. I mean, yeah, you could say that's Outrun, but I feel like the way the camera is behind, it almost looks like it's more of a Mario Kart, which could be cool. Yeah, it's all about drifting. So it doesn't look like it has any combat or anything. It's all about drifting. Anyway, this looks fun. Right now on PC, $16.99. Too bad there's not a demo. Let me just add to wish list because I could check that out later. And then this Make Way looks interesting. But anyway, I wanted to call that out because that looks cool. It's coming out on Switch. Seems like the perfect type of game to be on a Switch, to be honest. And $24.99, does that seem high? Let's see, you got 12 cars, 12 stages. I guess that's really up. And it has multiplayer. So, I tell you, sometimes it's hard when I see a game that looks like this. Even though 25 is not too much, I'm still thinking, well, 25, I spend, yeah, I would probably think, well, 25, if I just spent maybe like 15 more, I could get Sonic X Shadow. And even with Sonic X Shadow, to be honest, you look at that game, and it's like, okay, that price is pretty good. This, it's like, I would think 15, but even that, I don't want to shortchange the developer, because what if, again, it's really hard right now, I think, when there's so many games that come out, and so many that are cheap, and so many that go on sale, when you have like an indie, old-school-looking game that has not a high price, but any price, really, you're thinking more, is that... Unless you know what you really want. All right, gaming leaks and rumors real quick. There's going to be a tease, I guess, going on during TGA for console generation defining game. A console generation defining game, I would say, is Bloodborne. But I wonder if they mean something else, like a whole new game. If what I heard about one of Jeff Keighley's award show trailers is true, I'm very, very, very excited. How could I not be when we are talking about generation-defining game? Let's see what people are saying. That's so vague, it's meaningless. Yeah. He's probably talking about GTA 6. Okay. Bloodborne 2 confirmed. I mean, it would be crazy if... I don't know if Bloodborne 2 is going to be generation defining. To me, that's just people want a sequel to Bloodborne. That world was so cool. But I could see there a Bloodborne 2 being announced, and then we get the Bloodborne 1 remaster in the meantime. But, okay, Half-Life 3, I would say that, especially after Half-Life 2, Episode 2, and... Half-Life Alyx, it's like, okay, we need to go back to what Valve is known for, and it's taking the FPS genre, but incorporating elements of immersion to completely change the way we view games. There's room to do that, and I don't think that's happened a lot recently. Because think about first-person shooter games. There's not many first-person shooter big deal action games that come out. A lot of times they're these boomer shooters that come out, or they might be like an RPG or something, but not like an action FPS. And from rumors I've heard that, it's still a strong physics-based system, which was what Half-Life 2 introduced, but more reaction to AI. And I think that's the direction games need to be going in the future, is really doubling down on some amazing AI. We haven't really done that. And I don't even mean AI as in terms of like this new generative AI. I just mean the way they program how NPCs and enemies work in the environment. Like, I feel like there's more that could be done there. So, all right, in Fortnite Chapter 6, launch trailer leaked, and this shows and then I think it got the official reveal too, but it shows the Japanese themed stuff, which is cool. Godzilla. It shows a giant Godzilla. I don't know if it's a skin. I hope it's a skin too, but what's interesting is a Japanese themed chapter for Fortnite. Okay? And this is where, as much as I love the Gundam franchise, where I feel like the gaming division just drops the ball, this is where you introduce skins in Fortnite for Gundam, the Japanese theme. They're having Godzilla. Instead of just a limited time island that it's... So I'm hoping that's what happens. I'm hoping we hear that, okay, now there's some skins that drop. That is what Fortnite needs to do. Even though I don't really play it too much, but every once in a while I do, and it's fun. It's funny, because Fortnite is an example of like a good game. It just has good controls, and it just depends what you want to do. Let's see. Anything else? New Lost Records trailer on December 3rd. More PlayStation event proof. So, yeah, December 3rd being this PlayStation event could make sense. Yeah, especially if they want to get ahead of something for the TGAs. Let's see. When are the TGAs, actually? Let's see. December 12th. Okay. December 12th. Okay, let's go back. Okay. We're getting near the end. What did I want to show? I think there's not too much. Yeah, the Bloodborne servers undergoing maintenance. Game Awards games that could be shown. We might have looked at this already. Rise of Ronin DLC would make sense. I'm waiting for a PC release. I was looking that up. No word yet, but like with Neo and Neo 2, it eventually, the same developer. Let's see, a God of War related announcement, potentially the Greek Saga remastered. Yeah, if they took the original God of War stuff and remastered it or whatever, that would be... I mean, that's the God of War gameplay I prefer. I prefer these more gamey combat systems, not strong narrative and puzzle. I mean, there's puzzles in the old ones, but not, they weren't like, how do I word it? Pacing. I think there's pacing issues with the narrative-driven God of War games and their puzzles. Mafia: The Old Country, Dune Awakening, Crimson Desert, because that one looks great. The first Berserker looks cool. Metal Gear Solid Delta Snake Eater, South of Midnight, Wolverine, 2 Chinese titles. Did I skip Wonder Woman? That looks cool. This seems highlight. Oh, yeah, because I was looking at... That was a long time ago. Suddenly updated the web's advertising the Wonder Woman game on the front page 25 days ago. Gameplay trailer at TGA would make sense. Yeah. Okay. Last thing I want to show real quick is, if you look at Game Pass, and I'm just on PC. This isn't on Xbox, where sometimes there's more extra games. If you have Game Pass right now, you could play the StarCraft 2 campaign. You could play Metal Slug Tactics, so a tactical roguelike game. Goat Simulator, which is a goat simulator game. That's very unique. Spyro, and that's the trilogy. And then Flight Simulator, completely different type of game. And then Stalker 2, which is, we were talking about FPSs, this is like a survival FPS. And then Nine Souls, which is a Metroidvania, or Aliens Dark Descent. There are if you have Game Pass, there are so many cool games that are out right now that you could play, which is pretty awesome. And other games that I haven't even tried yet. Game Pass has great value. And then I was trying to check it out on the let me pull it up. PlayStation Plus, which okay, how do I figure out what like see this is a little harder. Okay, they got the monthly games. Oh, that's what you get for free, right? And these are cool. These are other than this Death Note, I think is exclusive. These are on Game Pass. And then you know, but it's and it's telling me to join PlayStation Plus, so I probably don't even have it anymore. What's new on PlayStation Plus? And then there's like the 3 tiers, and that's what makes it confusing. Let's see. Black Myth Wukong, but it's a trial, and sometimes they show like okay, and then the premium extra. Anyway, what I'm getting at is, Game Pass is just a great deal, and I think Sony needs to mimic that as much as possible. Even, well, let's see. Okay, I'm here showing all the games you could play, but it's just showing the big ones to get people to want and there we go. There's the monthly games on each one. That's interesting. Sony Pictures catalog on premium. That's actually pretty neat with the movies. I got to say, that's actually really cool. So, anyway, maybe it's just me. I'm confused. Like, it's hard for me to see the value compared to Game Pass. But anyway, so that's it, guys. Hope you enjoyed that one. I did have a lot to talk about because it's been a few days. Just one day, really. So I guess that's about it for now. Everyone have a good rest of the day, good weekend. Hope you had a good Thanksgiving. And late morning. Hey, Eltron, it's good to see you just as I'm getting off here. But yeah, hope you had a good Thanksgiving. Hope you have a good weekend, and we'll talk to y'all later. See you.